forever. Psychopathy, psychology, great and good are seldom the same, man. A dead brain is very different from a living one. Living again, a language for psychopaths is only we're deep. What if I was to paint you a different picture? Psychopathy really is like a high performance sports car. It's a double edged sword that inevitably cuts both ways. A psychopathy freestyler who is a rainbow can draw the line where the violet tint ends and the orange tint begins distinctly. We see the difference of the colors, but where exactly does the one first blindingly enter into the other one? So with sanity and insanity, rhyme monopoly floppity, what is wrong with me? Hearing the echoes again, never ending, I said. The echoes in my head never stop speaking again. The psychology of psychopathy, freestyling, man. Well, no. Well, there I go. Why do you fellows pull this stunt? I asked him because it is the conventional thing for moths, or why, if that had been an uncovered candle instead of an electric light bulb, you would now be a small unsightly cinder. Have you no sense? Plenty of it, he answered, but at times we get tired of using it. We get bored with routine and crave beauty and excitement. And fire is beautiful. Fire is beautiful, and we know that if we get too close, it will kill us. But does that matter? It is better to be happy for a moment and be burned up with beauty than to live a long time and be bored all the while. So we wad all our life up into one little roll, and then we shoot the roll. That is what life is for. It is better to be part of beauty. Our attitude toward life is come easy, go easy, where we are all like human beings used to be before they become too civilized to enjoy themselves. And before I could argue him out of his philosophy, he went and molested himself on a patent cigar lighter, started lighting up the cigarette. What if our better nature wasn't better after all, but was instead, well, just nature? Psychopathy is like sunlight. Overexposure can hasten one's demise in grotesque, carcinogenic fashion, but regulated exposure at controlled and original levels can have a significant positive impact on well-being and quality of life. Conscience is what hurts when everything else feels good. The problem with a lot of people is that what they think is a virtue is actually a vice in disguise. It's much easier to convince yourself that you're reasonable and civilized and soft and weak, isn't it? Every society needs particular individuals to do its dirty work for it. I think the problems is that people spend so much time worrying about what might happen, what might go wrong, that they completely lose sight of the present. They completely overlook the fact that actually right now everything's fine. You can see that quite clearly in your interrogation exercise. What is that chap told you? It's not the violence that breaks you, it's the threat of it. So why not just stay in the moment? Rapping psychopaths rather than having an impairment and recognizing the emotions of others indeed have a talent for it, and that the problem lies not in emotional recognition per se, but in the dissociation between its sensory and affective components, and the disconnect between knowing what an emotion is and feeling what it's like. Ruthlessness, charm, focus, mental toughness, fearlessness, mindfulness, living in the moment and action. Who wouldn't at certain points in their lives benefit from kicking one or two of them up a notch? What was important was being able to turn them back down. I realized from quite early on in my childhood that I saw things differently from other people, but more than that, it's helped me in my life. Psychopathy, if that's what you call it, is like a medicine for modern times. Modern times, if you take it in moderation, it can improve extremely. It can prove extremely beneficial. It can alleviate a lot of existential ailments that we would otherwise fall victim to because our fragile psychological immune systems just aren't up to the job of protecting us. But if you take too much of it, if you overdose on it, then there can, as is the case with all medicines, be some rather unpleasant side effects. Psychopathy was positively associated with in-house ratings of charisma and presentation style, creativity, good strategic thinking, and excellent communication skills. With the immaculately coiffed blonde locks and his impeccable cut glass accent, he looks and sounds like a dab hand. People are as nice as you make them, he enunciates, which gives you a heck of a lot of power over them. Of course, I just don't like guns. Just can't savor all the little emotions. No, these eight independent satellite states of the psychopath personality, the most prolific and accomplished hunters, were not the most bloodthirsty and indefatigable. They were the most cool and empathetic. They were the ones who were able to assimilate their their quarry's mindset to see through the eyes of their prey and thus reliably predict its deft and innate trajectories of evasion. If you want to stop someone from remembering something, the key is to use distraction, traits that are common among psychopathic serial killers, a grandiose sense of self-worth, persuasiveness, superficial charm, ruthlessness, lack of remorse, and the manipulation of others are also shared by politicians and world leaders. Rapper forever. Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid and broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, wow, what a ride, rhyme after rhyme. Give rejection the finger, and rejection gives it back. I've always maintained that if I wasn't studying psychopaths in prison, I'd do so at the stock exchange. He enthused without dumb. There's a greater proportion to psychopathic big hitters in the corporate world than there is in the general population. You'll find them in any organization where your position and status afford your power and control over others and the chance of material gain. Theta waves are associated with drowsy, meditative, or sleeping states, yet in psychopaths they occur during normal awakened states, even sometimes during states of increased arousal. I think the problem is that people spend so much time worrying about what might happen, what might go wrong, that they completely lose sight of the present. Rapping never ended. I spit it, I rap it. What is wrong with my head? Hearing the echoing rapping again. The echoing rapping again inside of my head. The echoes of a psychopath freestyle life said. Psychopaths make the world go round. Society is an expression of that particular sort of madness. I've always believed society to be a fundamentally rational thing, but what if it wasn't? What if it isn't? What if it is built on insanity? These civilized people will eat each other. At the end of our conversation, she turned to address you of a spitter, never end a rapper. I don't need psychology. I am not a sociopath neither, and psychopaths, people who know the difference between right and wrong but don't give a shit. That's what most of my characters are like in these rhymes after rhymes. It's hard to recognize the devil when his hand is on your shoulder. That's because a psychopath is just a person before he becomes a headline. There is a difference between a psychopath and a neurotic. A psychopath thinks 2 and 2 are 5. A neurotic knows that 2 and 2 are 4, but he worries about it. Never stop spitting about it, shout it. But when it comes to your own self-esteem, it is best not to value the opinions of deluded psychopaths. Rap after rap after rap. Never be fooled that things are going well when the government seemingly gives out goodie bags to the public. Those goodies are full of pat poison. They cannot simultaneously pass laws protecting one and then blast others through the media and have us think they are doing us a favor. They are lying psychopaths with an agenda. They may serve corporate masters, but they're still to blame. And as long as the public goes along with them, they are also culpable. Only you can free yourself through freeing your mind. Only you can free yourself from freeing your mind by infinite psychology, by forever psychopathy, psychology, freestyle.